I love being a Quaker. It means everything to me, really. I could cry right now saying that. The United Kingdom, which was then England, of course. Yeah, George Fox had an epiphany that there was a great people to be gathered, and didn't like that the priests would speak about being honest on Sunday and then cheat people in the marketplace during the week. And so George Fox believed that God lives within us and that we have direct access to God all the time. We don't need a priest to tell us what to believe. In England at the time, in the 1650s, it was a very disruptive time in history. And so many people were imprisoned, and there was just a lot of disruption. And so people started leaving England because they didn't have religious freedom. My family left England in the 1690s and moved to the colonies, which is now the US, the United States. So many people went to the United States, and Quakerism, of course, continued to thrive in England, but under some duress. So a big question is, what happened in the United States when Quakers went and made home there? Many Quakers settled around Philadelphia because William Penn created a tolerant culture, tolerant of religious difference. So many Quakers moved down to North Carolina and then out west to the middle of the country. And as they moved, they were moving with people who were not only Quakers, but who might have been religious. So community churches emerged, and often they would hire a pastor, which is not what the Quakers would have done, but they were joining other religious people. And that's how the pastoral Quakerism began. So in the mid 1800s, a missionary that started the whole movement in Africa has now developed Kenya has the largest number of Quakers of anywhere in the world. And so there are missions to this day in Africa, the Philippines, Taiwan, Bolivia, many parts of the world, a lot of Central America. Historically and culturally, Quakerism changes wherever it is. If we think about about Northern Ireland and Britain, if we think about Europe, Quakers used to be much more Christocentric than they are today. Even 30 years ago, that was the case. Today, we are influenced by the secularization of our culture. And so one of our great challenges in the unprogrammed European tradition is to articulate who we are in the context of a secular culture. Cultural changes shift so subtly, it's hard to know how it affects us here in our own lives. And yet history, culture affects Quakers all around the world in their own contexts. And it's our diversity that is really our strength. But it can be very challenging to understand these differences. It's the work of FWCC and the work of every one of us to try to understand what these differences mean.